Hey, Vibers! Today we are going to discover what money power you have but don't see. This should be interesting. If you happen to be new here, my name is Shon, and I am so happy that you're joining us. Okay, so yeah, breaking out into spontaneous song is one of those things that I happen to do. You either love it or you absolutely hate it. Anyway, here's how we're going to do it. In your reading, we're going to find out what your money power is. This is a natural set of behaviors, skills, character traits that you have that draw money to you, even when you're not conscious of it. Then, at the end of your reading, I'm going to give you an affirmation, which I will make up on the spot to help you tap into that money power more easily and deliberately so that you can really thrive financially. As you can see, I have prepared 3 piles for you to get your messages. You might find that you have messages in 1, 2, or all 3 of these piles. You can use your intuition to guide you on which pile to choose, or you can use the combination of crystal, quote, and flower that I've put together for you as your selector. So we have pile 1, pile 2, and pile 3. Take a second, take a look, see which of these piles is calling to you today. And once you've decided where you want to go first for your messages, scroll down to the description box. You'll see that I've placed timestamps there to lead you to your specific pile. And I will see you in your reading. Hi, Group 1, and welcome to your reading. If this is your first time here, my channel is dedicated to bringing you a divine feminine approach to your wealth and career. Make sure you subscribe and hit the notification bell so that you don't miss any of it. Okay, I was talking slow there because I was just like, don't forget any of what you need to cover. I am really bad at remembering to ask people to subscribe, so I'm trying to get better about that. And it's just like, oh. Anyway, hi, Group 1. Welcome to your reading. So we are going to be taking a look today at what money power you have, but don't realize that you have. This is, of course, intended to empower you to earn more money and definitely to get what you're worth. I don't even want to say earn more money. I want to say just to empower you to receive more money, whether it's coming through work that you do, a business that you own, or a gift, an inheritance. Anything like that. Money wants to come to you, and you have a very special and unique power for drawing that money to you. And that's what we are going to discover today. So you can see here, I have already pulled some cards for you. All right. And we're going to start our messages with these 4 cards. We have Tarot and Oracle. So from the This Might Hurt Tarot, we have King of Swords. Ooh. Page of Wands in reverse from the Tinseltown Tarot. Direction from the Higher Self Oracle. And Confidence, Solar Plexus Chakra from my Chakra Love cards. So you have a very strong leadership ability, Group 1, that you have not yet tapped into. So much of what you do or where you feel comfortable is in the space of novice, student. It could actually just even be about not feeling secure or that you have the right to tell others what to do. So the first message coming through for you in regards to your money power is 1, step into leadership. You can define for yourself what leadership means. It doesn't have to be that you become like a founder of a startup or the CEO of a corporation. It feels very much like it's about helping others find their way. I was just saying to one of my private reading clients yesterday, actually, that, there are 3 ways that we can have impact on others and what they do when it comes to like what we talk about in what's oftentimes referred to as the spiritual community or the New Age community. It can be healer, it can be teacher, it can be guide, or I should say you can be a healer, you can be a teacher, or you can be a guide. And what I'm getting for you, group one, is you are very much a guide, a very good guide. You might not even realize that you naturally have this ability. And if you will allow yourself to believe that other people value what it is you have to share, this is going to unlock your ability to receive more. Receive more money, receive more accolades, receive more respect, receive more connection, receive more community. You're very smart. You're highly, highly intelligent. And you've also done the work. So there's a natural intelligence there, a natural aptitude. You might be very strong with common sense. People may have always told you that you are wise beyond your years, or you seem older than your age, something like that, But here's the thing. Because you have a love of learning, you oftentimes put yourself in the learner position, either by not allowing yourself to advance in areas where you already have had some learning, or in the fact that you just do get excited by new information. And so you're always seeking out new things to learn, I should say, not new ways so much as new things to learn, which of course then puts you in the novice position, or the newbie position, for those of you who might not be familiar with that word. So what's coming through for you is it's fine and dandy. It is perfectly good that you love to learn. In fact, when we are leaders, we have to continue to allow ourselves to learn. One, because whatever area we are leading others in is probably oftentimes evolving and changing, right? Life is constant change. But also because it keeps it interesting for us. And this is a big one. If there's something in which we have proficiency, sometimes we need to go back to the basics to make sure that the foundation of what makes us strong or makes us knowledgeable doesn't get lost. So it's okay that you love to learn, and it's fine for you to continue to let yourself learn either new things or more about something that you're already familiar with. But stop identifying as just the student. You are definitely gifted at directing. Okay, so for some of you that might actually be like directing for the theater, or directing films, directing commercials even. No offense if there's any commercial directors watching me. They're just terrible to audition for. They're just like the worst. Anyway, so it could be actually directing or being the director of an organization, but it could actually even be as simple as directing others in what they should do, where they should go, how they should do things, without getting into the minutia of actually like teaching them how to do it. I'm not getting teacher energy so much as I'm getting guide energy for you. And a big part of it too is having confidence. There's a piece of you, the solar plexus chakra, that's our third chakra. And that is the one that is our sense of personal power. So one of the things you might want to consider doing is some exercises to balance your solar plexus chakra or strengthen it. For some of you, though, I'm definitely getting that there's some healing that needs to happen around the idea of ability. This might be because you are someone who was able to do things very naturally, and someone shamed you for that ability. They may have said things to you like you were lazy, or you weren't trying, or look how much more you could do if you tried harder. Or they were just outright jealous. This can happen sometimes with caregivers, teachers, even, and they're jealous of how quickly you can pick up on something, or how good you are, how proficient you seem at the beginning, maybe even to the point of being a kind of a prodigy. One of the saddest things that happens often is someone who has protege ability or is a protege at something not getting the teachers in their life to help them really explore and expand on that. I don't know if you can pick up on this, but I'm actually about to cry a little bit about that. That is sad. And it does happen because we don't, we see these movies like Searching for Bobby Fischer, or anything that has to do with someone who's great at what they do, or even what we know about Mozart, right? Mozart's father was a composer and a music teacher himself. So the fact that Mozart was born to that particular man was serendipitous for Mozart. But we don't all have that. And you may be someone, group one, that had all this ability, a protege like ability for something in particular, but you just didn't come into contact with someone who could help you nurture that talent and grow it, you know? For some of you, the talent is specifically the ability to learn. For some of you, it is specifically how highly intelligent you are. And the fact that you can learn just about anything is one of the reasons why you tend to stay in the student position, because you are always seeking out new things to learn, which we have already covered. So I'm not going to go on and on about that anymore. But here it says also, no one will believe in you if you don't believe in yourself. Be your own cheerleader. So yeah, very much I'm getting that some of you who chose this pile did not get the person or persons who could help you believe in any proficiency that you have. Well, let me do that for you right now. Let me be that person in this moment, okay? You have this is easy for you because you are naturally gifted at it. And the fact that you're naturally gifted at it means you should absolutely do it. Do it through the highest level of excitement that you can have for it. Let me say that better. Do it until it doesn't excite you anymore. But my feeling is it will always excite you because there will always be more for you to learn in this area. Okay? And as you get stronger and stronger in it, start teaching others about it. Teaching is not the right word. I don't want to say teaching because you're not a teacher. You're like a guide. So like one of the things that I'm able to do personally, one of the things that makes me a guide is I'm able to see someone's, again, natural gifting and ability and tell them what it is. Oftentimes people who come to me either for readings or they just happen to be in my sphere and I know them and they know me, I'm able to see something about them that they're not able to see and guide them in not only what it is they should be doing, but how they can get started. This is why I focus on career readings. I love career readings. I'll do love readings when people order them in my shop, but I focus on career and life path things because I can just see it. I can see it. And you are similar, group one, in that you have the ability to give people direction, show people the way to go, help them understand how to get from point A to point B. What is next, you know? It's almost like you have this ability to see within a thing, not just see things at a surface level. You see things in a very, very deep level. And this is really about your high level of intelligence. So the money power that you have is the ability to be a guide for others. And what that means is, should you choose to do so, the ability to charge for that guidance. Do not feel guilty about charging for that which comes easily for you. That which is easy for you is where you are most aligned, and oftentimes it's where other people don't have that same sense of alignment, that same strength, that same ability. And so when you allow them to pay you for what you can bring to them that they don't inherently have, you are not only valuing yourself, you are allowing them to show their value of you, how much they value you. That's how normal people talk. You're allowing them to see, you're allowing them to show, how much they value you. And then you walk around being a being of value, oh Lord. You walk around in value. And as you walk around in a sense of value, a state of value, you receive more in many, many ways. You receive more financially and you receive more general abundance. And it also keeps you in good health because you're not sitting there feeling stressed because you feel like nobody values you. Value this gift, this talent you have. 2, 1, the natural proficiency that you have in whatever area or skill that might be. And 2, your ability to guide and give direction to others. Oh, and 3, I lost it. Where'd it go? Come back to me. Your intelligence. Your very, very, very high level of intelligence. When you bring these 3 things together, you are going to see an increase in the amount of money that comes your way. Sometimes it will come as a direct means of you sold something or you provided a service and you got paid for that. But sometimes it's just about living in that truth of your ability to be a guide, to lead others, to strengthen others through the intelligence that you have, of seeing yourself as high level. You need to start seeing yourself as high level. And just making that shift psychologically, emotionally, and energetically, money might start coming to you in ways that are not as direct as you sold something and got paid for it. It might just come to you through like an unexpected check from the federal government, or because that usually means that you overpaid in taxes, right? And so that's why I'm just like, ugh. Or a gift that's given to you by someone who knows you, loves you, values you, and just wanted to give you some money. You know, that happens to me. I'm not going to say who does it. It's my sister. She's really sweet that way. But every once in a while, she just sends me a gift, a financial gift. And I'm like, thank you. I will take your largesse. Thank you very much. You know, so sometimes the money power reflects, let me say that better. Sometimes our receipt of money is through direct means. I sold, I earned. I worked, I earned. But sometimes it is a gift from the universe or from the people in the universe who love you. So accept that. But first and foremost, right now, group one, accept that you are indeed a guide, a highly intelligent guide. Don't be afraid of leading others. They will follow you as soon as you start to believe that you are worth following. Woo! I love that. It got me hot too. Also, it's summertime in Los Angeles, so. Okay, let's get one more thing for you, and this is from the Wild Muse Oracle. I'm going to pull one of these cards from Vanessa's deck to connect you with the divine feminine energy to help you with, yes, rehabilitation. Yeah, there's a little bit of healing that needs to happen there. There's a little bit of healing, but I feel like for the majority of you, this is not necessarily about you needing to do a long, drawn out, 2, 4, 5 years of healing. No. I feel like the majority of you have already done a lot of this work, but it's about group one, allowing yourself to graduate. You saw that there was an issue. You started doing inner work around that issue. You've learned what you've needed to learn. You've begun to heal. You begin to function differently in your life. Now let yourself graduate. Let yourself see yourself as able to move up and out, move forward. Okay. And then for some of you, with it being the word rehabilitation in particular, this seems to indicate that there was something specific that you experienced that knocked you off your game. So it's not so much that you just happen to be a person who has, who struggles with self-confidence, but maybe you were very confident at one point. Maybe you were I just got a hit that someone had a business. You had your own business and it felt successful. And then something happened where you lost that business. It might have been related to the economic downturn of 2008, or of course that pandemic that we just had that did a lot of damage to a lot of business owners, sole proprietors in particular, independent business owners. And what's coming through for you is that whether it's that you had your own business or it's just that you felt confident and capable in a different way, or were, a leader before, but something happened to take that from you, to knock you off your game, and to also injure your psyche, injure your sense of self, your self-concept around being a leader. Don't stay in that. Group one, don't stay in that sense of that hurt. It did hurt. That was unfair. It might not have been fair. My life is over. Your life is clearly not over. You're watching me right now. You're alive. And that sounds snarky, and I don't know. Maybe it's a little snarky. But let yourself move on from the grief of what you lost and step back into the sense of who you are that allowed you to create something like that in the first place. I'm not specifically getting that you need to create the exact same thing again. I am getting for you guys that there is a sense of new. 100% a sense of new direction, specifically around giving others direction, being a guide for them, helping them to see clearly. Some of you might be tarot readers yourself, Yeah. Let's see if I can give you an affirmation. I want to give you an affirmation to use this week as you start shifting around this or contemplating even more your money power. And and mindfully use it. Don't just say it once or say it, a bunch of times in one particular day. But, our mind is always chattering. And so one of the things that I like to do is I call it mindful meditation. And it's where I just take a particular affirmative phrase, a particular statement, and around something that I want to shift. And I deliberately think that thought all day long. So instead of my head just, automatically doing a bunch of background chatter, I control the thinking. So for you guys, we have our King of Swords, our Page of Wands in reverse, the word direction. It's so much simpler than I should have come up with this like 15 and a half seconds ago. I'm a very good leader. It's really that simple. I'm a very good leader. Okay, group one? All right, this is what I have for you today. I hope you have found some comfort in it, a sense of direction for yourself. But just know that your money power is not in following. It's in guiding. 100%. Thank you guys so much for being here, and I will see you in my next one. Bye. Hi, group two, and welcome to your reading. If this is your first time here, my channel is dedicated to bringing you a divine feminine approach to your wealth and career. So be sure to subscribe and hit the notification bell so you don't miss anything. All right. In our reading today, we are going to be looking at what money power you have but don't see. I'm very excited about this topic because, isn't that the case for the majority of us? We're not sure about what we can do to have more money in our life, to build wealth. Well, we're going to discover that for you here today. So as you can see, I have pre-pulled some cards. We have a combination of tarot and oracle here. Our first card is the Three of Wands in reverse. Our second card is Justice. Oh, this is the This Might Hurt Tarot. I like to try to remember to tell you guys what decks they are in case you want to get them. And I have the links to every deck I ever use in the description box here. So this is the This Might Hurt Tarot. Our second card is from the Tinseltown Tarot. You got Acceptance, but also in reverse. This totally makes sense to me. This is the Higher Self Oracle. And then you got Compassion. This is the Chakra Love cards. Okay, group two. The start to your having access to more money has to do with you having access to more of yourself. I'm getting that there is a lack of acceptance of your own vision of yourself and what you want for your life. It starts for you with accepting that what you want, what you need, what you feel is valid. And it's not just valid, it's actually what's right. You may have a tendency of constantly seeking articles that have written, from sources about how to discover this about yourself or how to do this or how to do that, right? Or you might be someone who is constantly asking other people, what do you think I'm good at? What do you think I should do? And this whole time, while you are seeking this out, while you are researching through articles or you are asking people that you already have something that you really want to do, really feel like is right for you, but you don't trust that it is okay for you to do it. You may even know of other people who already do it. However, I am getting, oh, wow, and I got that hard, that for some of you, it's something that's not been done before, or that you haven't seen done in the way you feel inspired to do it before. I'm also getting a bit of an energy here around life, feeling like life is not fair. And so because you have struggled with the feeling of life being fair to you or you receiving in accordance with what you do, because that hasn't been your experience, it's hard for you to believe that what it is you are, what your actual vision is or desire is for yourself could work, that it would pay off. And I actually don't even know if I should put that in quotes because I think that's clearly what it is. So there's a law, and I hope I get this right. There's a universal law of compensation, and essentially it's the same idea as karma, the true meaning of karma, which is simply cause and effect. if you do this, then you get this. Or, I've used this example before here on the channel, Newtonian physics. For every action, there's an equal and or opposite reaction. Equal and opposite reaction, no or. For every action, there's an equal and opposite reaction. And what you may have experienced, group 2, is situations where you did the things. You did what was told to you was the right thing. You did all the things. You did your best. And you didn't receive in accordance with what you gave. And this has made you feel as though life isn't fair. And what I'm getting is that for you, what happened there was what you were doing wasn't even what you really wanted to do. This might be in regard to work, a career or a job, a business that you started, even going to law school. I don't know where that came from, but someone here, that's you. But I'm getting that for a lot of you, it's even deeper than career or money related, and has to do with effort that you put into personal relationships, and you were not honored in those relationships. And this does not have to be romantic in nature, because when we have core wounding, and core wounding is stopping us from moving up, moving forward, getting more, it's usually connected to childhood pain, childhood trauma, something from our past, something with a caregiver, whether they were a biological parent or not. It could be a grandparent, an aunt or uncle, someone who was important to us in our lives. And if you grew up in, as an example, an alcoholic home, or where there was any other sort of addiction, or any continual traumatic experiences, traumatic events happening, being a child, your nature would have been to try to make things better for not really even yourself, for the people around you. Children are naturally compassionate, and we are going to get to this compassion card. Hold on a second. We are going to get to this compassion card in just a second. All right? Because I'm sure you've already figured out what this is all about. But anyway, as children, the first instinct is to make things better for those caregivers. So we try to behave better. For some of us, particularly if you identify as a seer, a light worker, an empath, we try to make it better for them by giving them wisdoms. Did anybody else here function as the counselor for your parent? The person that your parent was asking for advice? Talk about reversed, right? It was supposed to be the other way around. You weren't being guided, and yet you were providing guidance. So you do those things in an attempt to make the situations better, but those people are who they are, and they have the power in those scenarios. You do not. You're a child. And so things continue to be bad and oftentimes get worse. And then that can imprint on the child you the idea that life isn't fair, or that your efforts don't make a difference, or what you try won't work. And if that became your framing of life, that is hindering you right now from accepting what it is you really envision for yourself. At the core of it is this feeling of things not being fair, or that things won't work out. And what you're being called to do, group 2, is to have more compassion for yourself. In the same way you have so much compassion for others. You are very good at being compassionate towards other people, even when you don't really feel it or mean it. At this point, for some of you, it's just what you know you're supposed to say, so you say it. You know who you are. Now let's turn that energy onto the self. Let's start giving you that energy. Be compassionate with yourself about what hasn't worked in the past, about not seeing this truth about yourself prior to this moment, and have compassion for yourself as you move forward, starting to honor that vision that you have, honor those things that you really want. For a lot of you, and here's the tie-in to money power, it is going to require that you change the way you earn a living. For a lot of you, it is that you are in the wrong career, on the wrong path, because you made the choices with that old framing. And now it is time for you to accept who you really are, what you really want, what your skills and talents really are, even if they're not developed yet. because you didn't you weren't able to validate them, you may not have gotten the training or done the study that could make you even stronger at things that you are naturally gifted at. So there can be a natural gifting, but you're like, yeah, but I'm not good enough to be a professional at it, or I'm not good enough to have my own business doing it, I'm not good enough to make money at it, charge people for it yet. Not good enough yet. Growth mindset is what we do here. We don't do a fixed mindset where you're just this thing and that's all you are and that's all you're ever going to be. No, we do growth mindset here. If there is something that you want for yourself, group two, particularly if it has, I hate when I do that because it always looks like, you know what it looks like I'm doing. But anyway, and I do that often, particularly if it is coming from your heart, it is emanating from your heart. It is emanating from your gut, or even if you think about it so much and you just can't stop it, you just can't turn that thought off, it keeps coming back to you. Even if it seems like it's way too late and your life is too far gone. This is where the compassion comes in. Explore it for yourself anyway. You might be 75 watching this right now. Do it anyway so that you can honor that part of you. But because the intention, when I pulled these cards today, when I tapped in with my guides to know what messages to bring to you, the intention was about your money power. I'm getting that even if you are already 75 years old, there is still going to be an inflow of money that comes to you as a result of shifting your energy around the acceptance of your own vision, your own desires, your own wants, your true needs, your skill set, your abilities, your what you aspire to, even things you may not be good at yet, but man, do you love it. Explore it. Explore it. Do it. Do it. You are totally getting that guidance here. Compassion for yourself. You know, and it says here on this chakra love card, it says, compassion, resolve your conflicts with compassion. And the instinct, and this is fourth chakra, the heart chakra here. The instinct when someone gets a card like this is usually probably to think this is about having, like I said earlier, having compassion for others, resolving conflicts with others, but this is about conflict with the self. This is about conflict with the self. So the first order of business for you, group one, is to start the process of forgiving yourself for not honoring yourself before, and start honoring yourself now. And as you do this, you are going to be, again, I think I said this in one of the other posts too, walking through life with a sense of your own value. Yes, this, okay, thank you. What just came through for you also is your value. A lot of people struggle with knowing what their value is. The key for you to know your value is to know what you value. The key for you to know your value is to know what you value. So if there are things about you that you value, or things that you would like to have, like say for instance, a single family home in a nice suburban city that's not too expensive to live. If that is something you value, but you're continuing to live in Los Angeles in a 1-bedroom apartment with your boyfriend of 10 years, then you're not valuing what you want. I told on myself, right? And I like to share with you guys the truth of my reality, so you don't think I'm just coming, like having this energy of coming down from on high and having all the answers for you. The things that I share with you, of course, it's downloads that I'm getting, but it's also based on life experience that I have had or am currently having. So the valuing of the self allows you to make the choices that work for you. And that is showing what your value is. I hope that was clear. I'm going to give you one more example really quickly. The charging of products and services, or the amount you seek in a salary if you happen to work for someone else. I feel like the majority of the people who come here are business owners or professional artists. So for you, it would be the charging of your services or your products if you sell a product as a business owner. But even if you happen to work for someone or have don't have a desire to own your own business at all, but prefer to be an employee, what you ask for in the salary negotiations, you know what you think what you do is worth. So when you honor that, you are setting your value. You set your value by what you value. So, for instance, another example from my own life, the Etsy shop. Etsy was charging me so much in fees. It was not, I was not receiving per reading anything close to what the value of the reading was. And so I went, you know what? I value making XYZ amount when I do a reading. So I need to increase my Etsy prices so that after their fees, I still get XYZ amount. Or after their fees and any discount that I'm offering at the time, I still get XYZ amount. So I valued, I knew what my value was. My value was to make a certain amount. Or let me say that better. I knew what I valued. I valued making a certain amount per reading. And I built from there. I went from there. Because I want to make a certain amount per reading, as in get in my bank account per reading, then from that, okay, now I am honoring myself in pricing myself accordingly. And then that is showing me my value, which then shows other people your value. And there can be a fear when you increase prices, for instance, again, sticking with this example, that you are going to lose clients or customers, and you will. Because there are some people who their value, the thing that they value, is how much they can save or how little they can pay for something. So they stop being your people when you make that shift. But there are other people who value paying as much as possible for something because they assume that doing so a value for them is paying well for something because they feel that they're getting a higher quality. And so in honoring that value, they will actively seek people who price themselves higher. And so those become your new clients and customers. They pay for whatever it is that you're offering. And now their value is, what they value is being handled. Let me say that better. Honored. What they value, getting quality. Because I give a quality reading. And I'm sure whatever you do it at quality too. So they get the quality they value. You get the pay you value. And we're all walking around in this whole little sphere of valuedness. Not a word. Made it up. I love it. Okay, so what we're going to do now is we are going to pull from Vanessa Samayana's Wild Muse Tarot to get just a little bit of guidance on how you can tap into divine feminine energy, or what divine feminine energy you can utilize to help you with this. I feel like we've already gotten so much though, right? Okay, that flipped over really fast. All right, you guys actually got two, and I'm going to give you both. You got big changes. Boom. Did I say it? For some of you, it is 100% going to be changing how you make your money right now, changing careers. For some of you, it's going to be outright changing fields. Boom. And the second card you got was no strings attached. I'm not even going to expound on that because I feel like it's pretty clear and they definitely go together. All right. You are not beholden to the career you've already had, the company you already work for, even the business you've already built. If it is not fulfilling you and it is not meeting your needs, it is not providing you with that which you value, the ability to save a certain amount, the ability to live a certain place, the ability to vacation once a year. If what you value is not being honored through this work, is not accessible to you because of this work, you 100% have to make big change. And remember, you are not tied to this, and you certainly aren't tied to it forever. And go ahead and let yourself start exploring the possibility of changing that. That is your money power. Your vision that you have inside of you, that you believe right now you believe you can't have or shouldn't have, but you really wanted, accepting that is your money power right now. Okay, I did promise you at the top of this reading, or I should have. If I didn't, please forgive me, but my intention is to give you an affirmation to leave with at to use for this week. Sorry, all of a sudden I just got, I had no words, or maybe I had all the words, I don't know. But anyway, I want to give you an affirmation to use for the next week, okay? And use it mindfully. Don't use it once, don't say it once, or don't spend 10 minutes one day doing it in front of a mirror and think that that's the end of it. No, consciously bring this thought to mind every day, dare I say all day, over the next 7 days, to help shift your mindset around this, okay? So let's see what we have here, because I am making up this affirmation on the spot for you. All right, we have Three of Wands. Let me give you the cards so you can look at what I'm looking at. We have the Three of Wands in reverse. We have the Justice card. We have Acceptance We have compassion. As I'm working this out, if you think of an affirmation on your own, type it in the comments so that not only can you have it there to remind yourself of going forward, but other people might also benefit from the idea that you come up with. All right, here's what I got. You ready, group 2? I am free to make changes that allow me to do what I want. It's too vague. Let me do that better. I am free. I am free to honor what I want, even though it will require big changes or require major change. I am free to do what I want, even though I am free. I'm free to honor what I want for myself, even though it will require major change. Any iteration of that. Shift the words around if you'd like. Clean it up. If you can say it better than I just said it, clean it up and put it in the comments. So again, it can help you and other people going forward. But this is 100% what I have for you today, group 3. I am very excited for you because change is scary. It's hard. It can be terrible. It'll make you cry. It's going to be horrible at first. But in the long run, it will bring you more of what you really want and really deserve in your life, and ultimately bring you more money as a result. All right? Take care, and I will see you in my next one. Bye. Hi, group 3. Welcome to your reading. If this is your first time here, my channel is dedicated to bringing you a divine feminine approach to your wealth and career. So make sure you subscribe and hit the notification bell so you don't miss anything. All right, in our reading today, we are taking a look at your money power that you don't see. So actually we're going to be discovering it, right? Because if you don't already see it, you don't already know it. Now, for some of you, particularly if you identify as being highly intuitive, you may find confirmation in our reading today. You might have already sensed this, but the revelation is happening right now. So as you can see, I have pre-pulled some cards for you. We have a combination here of tarot and oracle. So to begin with, we've got the This Might Hurt Tarot by Chris Ann. Look at that. We got 9 of Pentacles. I know what this is. I know what this is. We have the Ace of Swords in reverse. We have Divine Timing. And we have creativity. Use creativity to transform your pain into positivity. Okay, we're going to come back to that message in a second. But, oh, and I forgot to tell you guys which decks we're using. So this is the This Might Hurt Tarot. I think I did say that. This is the Tinseltown Tarot. This is the Higher Self Oracle. And this is my Chakra Love cards. I'm saying like I'm the one that created this deck. I am not. So anyway, group 3, your money power lies in starting your own business. Starting your own business. Some of you might click away because you're like, no, I can't. It's too hard. All right, but you're just delaying the inevitable. You are meant to have your own business. Some of you may already have your own business, so this might be a confirmation to you that you are in alignment with what your true money power is. But I am getting, particularly with us having this Ace of Swords in reverse, that for many of you, it's that you don't yet have your own business. You may have secretly wanted it or been intrigued by the idea, or as I demonstrated with my almost condescending, and I did not mean for it to be, little outburst a second ago, some of you might actually be afraid of the idea of having your own business. And that's understandable because, when we work for ourselves, the buck stops here. Everything is on us. And that's after going through all the things required to start the business in the first place, right? But the fact that we've got the Ace of Swords here in reverse, this is saying to stop giving your ideas to other people. You may find yourself, if you're one of those people who's resistant to the idea, like had massive resistance to the idea of starting your own business, you have been working for companies that you give them the best of you. You don't show up to your job half-assed. It doesn't matter if you're a wage worker or you have what's considered to be a white-collar professional job, or you're a skilled laborer. You are bringing innovation, creativity, great ideas to your work environment, and they are being utilized. I'm not getting that this is a group of people, group 3, excuse me. I'm not getting that you guys fall into that category of people who give the best of themselves in a job, give the great ideas, and don't get credit for it. That is a real thing that happens to some people. That's not what I'm getting for you. I'm getting that your ideas get used. They get honored. You might even get recognition and awards, pay bumps, and all of that for the work you're doing for other people. But you don't get as much as they get. Whenever we work for someone else, they are getting more money than we are getting. They are getting more money from our ideas. Justin calls me a bobblehead, and now I know why. Anyway, they are getting more money for our ideas than we are getting for our ideas. And I'm getting that for you guys, group 3. Your ideas are, as I said a second ago, innovative, creative. They are time-saving in many ways. And this is one of the reasons why the people that you work for value you. If you're somebody who already has your own business, again, for you, this Ace of Swords represents not stifling your ideas. You may struggle with feeling like, well, you already started a specific business and you need to just keep doing what you're doing in that business because it has shown you've seen that it works. And while that is good and great, and congratulations to you, group 3, that is not all that is inside of you. You have only hit the tip of the iceberg, touched the tip of the iceberg. It's only the tip of the iceberg on what it is you are capable of doing, what you are able to accomplish. And as you get these new ideas, some of you might say something to yourself like, yeah, but I've already got this business. Or, yeah, but I just, I don't know if we should change anything because we don't want to disrupt things for our customers, or we don't want to confuse our branding, or whatever the thing may be. Okay, so you are suppressing the ideas. The ideas are never going to stop for you. They're never going to stop for you. I'm getting that those of you who chose this group, who chose this pile of cards, you are not only innovative and creative. Oh, no, that's it. You're what I meant to say is you are innovative and creative. So there will constantly be a flow of new ideas coming to you. You're not a one and done kind of person, not by any stretch of the imagination. With us getting the divine timing card here from the higher self oracle, it is definitely saying to you, this is the right time. This is the right time. For those of you who are business owners, you may have had these other ideas and thought, well, I'll do that eventually, or I'll do that one day, or, something to that extent. I want to have a stronger footing. I want to have more money coming in. I want to wait until my children are fully grown. Anything to delay it. For some of you, this is a stall tactic and self-sabotage. But for some of you, you've legitimately felt like you needed to wait for specific things to take place. I'll wait until the economy is more stable. That's another one, right? Before expanding your business or starting a second business, because some of you are gifted at starting businesses. In fact, I'm getting that for somebody here, maybe a few of you here, the business idea for you is to teach or coach others how to start their businesses. So business consultant. Sort of like what Alex Hormozi does. If you are a business owner or are interested in becoming a business owner and you're not familiar with Alex Hormozi, check out his content. It is going to change everything for you. I'm telling you, there's a lot of people out there that teach things around having your own business and entrepreneurship. They can't touch Hormozi. And listen, when I first heard him speak, it was at an event. I can't remember the name of the event, but it was hosted by Think Media. I couldn't stand this guy. I was like, ugh, he sounds all privilegey. Ugh, of course he could do it like that. Listen, and I don't even believe in doubting our own abilities, but there was something about him that just rubbed me the wrong way. Fast forward a few weeks, I had the same thing happen with sushi. Fast forward a few weeks, and something told me to look into him again. And it was his own content as opposed to him speaking live at an event. And boom, 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 boom. Nuggets of wisdom, nuggets of wisdom, nuggets of wisdom. And I feel that you would be similar. In case you're wondering about the sushi comment, the first time I had sushi, I hated it. Fast forward a few weeks, I was craving it. And I was craving specifically the seaweed. And so then I went and got more sushi, and I've been a sushi fan ever since. But anyway, getting back to you and a business idea for some of you, it is business consultancy. 100% you will do well at that. So whether that is the business idea that you go with, if that feels like that's an alignment for you, being a business consultant, or it's some other business of your own. Listen, for some of you, it's not even that you have to have a whole business with like staff and, a location that you pay rent on for or anything like that. It can be that you have a specific skill that you can offer a service to others and do it. You're basically contracting yourself. You can contract yourself or contract yourself to companies. You can do business to customer kinds of businesses. So the first is B2B, where you as a provider of a specific service, you work with other companies or corporations, or you can do it direct to consumer, direct to a customer. So that's like what I do, what most of us who have tarot channels do with our with our tarot customers. We provide them with a reading. So we're the business, they are the consumer. Whichever way you go. Whether you choose to have your own business where it's something that you rent space, you set up equipment, and people come to your storefront, or it's one that you work it out of your home and you don't have any other staff, but you function as a sole proprietor, it is time for you to start your business. And remember this, group 3, however you start it, it doesn't have to stay that way. All right, so you can start it small. For some of you, it's about starting something small and letting it grow over time. In fact, with us having this 9 of Pentacles here, this is an indication. In general, when 9 of Pentacles comes up, I do tend to interpret it as having to do with having one's own business, because it is financial independence. It is financial freedom. And I do personally believe that the best way to have financial freedom and financial independence is through one's own business, but it's not the only way, as we all know, okay? However, this card also represents enjoying the fruits of the labors you've already taken. Things that you have already done to get you to where you are right now. So with that 9 of Pentacles being part of your reading, it does feel like there's a bit of a reminder there that it doesn't have to be the fullness of it right away. In fact, it's not going to be, right? I said this in one of the other posts too. I can't remember which one. We do growth mindset here on this channel. Not just, it's just this and that's all it's ever going to be, okay? Let yourself start small. Let yourself start with one. So if the idea of, providing a service aligned for you, start with just allowing yourself to have one customer. So a great example of this is, how I'm sure most of you know someone who does taxes for other people and they charge for it. My mom used to do that when I was, I want to say 10th and 11th grade. My mother would not just do her own taxes at tax season, but she would do taxes for other people and charge them for it. I don't know if she charged enough, but she charged them for it. And so that can start with just the first, one person. And maybe you and it doesn't have to be the taxes thing, okay? You get what I'm saying though. Providing a service for someone and just, doing one person first for a few months until you get the hang of that. You see how that feels for you. Then add more, And by adding more, I mean letting more people know what you do. And here's the thing. If you do a good job, if you do a great job, a phenomenal job, and your client, that first client, loves the experience, they are going to tell other people about you. Particularly if you are doing something that is mystifying, is that the right word? Confusing, confounding to other people, like taxes. I don't even do my own taxes anymore. I just can't, especially with having my own businesses. I used to do my own taxes. I can't believe I used to do my own taxes. I just really can't. So if it's something like that, if you have a specialized skill, which I'm getting that a lot of you here do have a specialized skill, and as said earlier, you are full of ideas, start small. You can offer it to one person and then expand your reach over time. But the time is now. This is the right time for you. Not just because of guidance coming through is not worry about those conditions you were concerned about needing to fall in place or fall in line before you got started, but also you are ready. You are at a place right now where you are really ready for this. You are really ready to have your own business and to profit from your ideas, your creativity. So let's talk about that. So for some of you, the business may actually be creative in nature. And this is, like what I do as a professional actor. Okay. So you guys know that I've got the content creation that I do here on social media. You know that I offer personal readings on my website, or I should just say through e-commerce. So that's the website as well as the Etsy shop. But definitely, please, if you order from the website, it's going to be a better experience for you and more cost effective. I have to charge more on Etsy. And so for you, it might be something like what I do as an actor. Okay. And I approach acting from a place of this is my business. I always have. I see directors and producers as my clients. I used to see my agent as my client as well, when I first started. And I operated with them as such. I kept spreadsheets of what I was earning. And that made life so much easier at tax time. Maybe that's why I was able to do my own taxes for a while, So if you have, again, a special skill, Liam Neeson, a special set of skills. If you happen to have a special skill that is artistic in nature, professional artist still counts as business owner in most cases, particularly in regional markets. In most situations, you don't get hired as an employee. You don't get hired as a full-time employee. So if you're someone who can paint, who can draw, right away, I'm thinking you can give lessons. You can, cooking. I just got that. Cooking, baking for others, baking more than cooking. So let's start with the cooking and then we'll move to the baking, just to give you some ideas here. Okay. So, and granted, that's technically a different video I should do. Listen, let me know in the comments if you would like to see me do a video that's essentially it would be entitled something like, what business should you start? Or what business should you start right now? What business would you kill? Something like that. Or kill it at, I guess I should say. But anyway, so whatever your creative skill is, begin by offering it to people in your sphere, right there in your neighborhood. And with something like cooking, because of things like HelloFresh and Blue Apron, now our grocery stores offer prepared meals and they price it just under what HelloFresh would be and Blue Apron would be. And that is to entice us to buy the prepared meal from them instead of ordering it for home delivery. What if you offered something similar to that, but charged even less than what they charge? Like, create a menu, right? A menu for the week. And make a copy of that and, disseminate it out to your neighborhood. If you live in an apartment building like what I do, I think there's like 20 units in here or something. So if I was doing this, I would disseminate it out to these 20 people in this building. But because it's LA and it's an apartment world, there are apartments all over me. All around me. And so if you live in a nice suburban neighborhood that's comfortable, then you can put it in people's mailboxes. If you start with the neighbors that you know, let them know that you're starting this business and you would love for them to try it, I don't want to spend a lot of time right now getting into the details of how to do that, but the basic idea is whatever it is that you want to offer, whatever the special skill you have is, but the cooking is one that is, everybody needs food. Everybody needs food. And if you happen to be good at cooking, start, say, this is the menu for the week, and let them know how they can order from you if they want it. You prepare that meal and then you deliver it right in your neighborhood. So now you don't have to worry about delivery trucks, and you don't have to worry about drivers, and you don't have to worry overly much about refrigeration or anything like that. Start small and grow over time. Okay. Oh, I just got really excited about that. And the same thing for baking. If you are someone who likes baking, you can do the same exact thing. Instead of doing like a weekly menu, You can create a menu of the things that you excel at baking and do the things that are specialties that people are always looking for. Wedding cakes are big, okay? So I wouldn't say start there unless you've done it before and you know how to do that. But like specialized birthday cakes, one of my greatest childhood memories, it was my uncle making, oh no, it wasn't birthday, it was Easter. For Easter one year, he made a cake that looked like a bunny rabbit for me and my sister. And my sister Cheryl wasn't born yet. So sorry, Cheryl, if you're watching this. But my sister Christina and I got to eat this cake. And the bunny looked like a rabbit because he used coconut, on the surface of it to represent fur. So little things like that you can do. So birthdays, showers, wedding showers, bachelorette parties. Make some penis cakes. I'm just saying. There are people, and your neighbors will then refer you. Guys, the thing about the B2C business, particularly if you let yourself start with people who already know you, is they are more inclined to refer you to other people, and that is how your business can grow. I did just spend a ton of time on that group 3. I hope you're still with me. But 100% creativity. Use creativity to transform your pain into positivity. So for those of you who resonate, I hate that word. For those of you who align with being an artist, it feels like to you that you're an artist, is what I should say, because it's not like that's not one of those things that you kind of feel like it. You are an artist, right? There may have been pain for you around earning. Sometimes it is very hard for artists to earn. I am very lucky in that before I graduated school, I went to college in Washington, D.C., and before I graduated school, I got approached by a theater company in my hometown that happened to be one of 2 professional theaters in that city that had a robust education department for children, as well as their performance department. The performance department had their main stage performances as well as their touring company. That's 3 ways for me to earn money being an artist. And it dropped in my lap. I mean, that's kind of an oversimplification of things. I actually had worked for a different organization that's not specifically theater related, but the executive director of the company that I worked for then told the people at the Children's Theater of Charlotte about me. And that's how I got my first opportunity to be a professional in my field. That is rare. For most people, you don't have it fall in your lap like that. For most people, you may not even be in a city where it is obvious how you can be an artist and make money doing it. So the transform your pain into positivity. I feel like this is specifically about the pain around money. And it's time, your message is saying it is time for you to start being positive about your money in alignment with your creativity. They can go hand in hand. If you want very specific guidance on that for you, I offer that artistic career reading, right? Or if you don't, now you know. If you don't know, now you know. If you happen to be new to the channel, because I have recently gotten a lot of new people now that I am focusing the channel specifically on career and money. And so some of you are brand new to me and you may not know that I offer that, but I do. Career readings are my favorite to do as far as personal readings, and the artistic career reading is one that is not something that most people have the 30 years of experience being a professional artist to draw from, along with the downloads, the way I do. So let me help you turn whatever your creative gift is into a business, because it can be done. And particularly now that the entire world is used to Zoom, there are ways for you to do this regardless of where you live. And I want to help you with that. If you don't align with the idea of being an artist, but you do feel a lot of value from these messages about starting your own business, again, the creativity still applies to you. Your creativity, a pain point for you, a point of restriction in your earning has been that you've been giving your ideas away to others. So that's the pain point for you, that others have been profiting more from your ideas than you have. And glossy ass photo, hold on. Y'all know what I'm trying to do. You can see it enough, right? And so now it's time for you to own that creativity. And remember that you are naturally creative as well as innovative. And so don't be intimidated by the idea of starting your own business. You will know what to do. You will think of what to do. And you can also seek out resources from other people. Let me say that better. Not seek out resources, business guidance from those who have come before you. Even if they're in a completely different business. However, you do want to mitigate how much of that you take in, because what applies to one business doesn't necessarily apply to another. This is important to know. But the creativity, you have the creativity to be your own, not just be your own boss, to have your own business 100%. Okay, I have talked way too much about that, or at least I should say more than I did with the others. If you happen to listen to both readings, though, that's cool. Look at this. This is your card. So I didn't say Vanessa Samaya's deck. I was pulling your card from that for the Divine Feminine connection to this message for you. There is always a way. A lot of times we might feel as though we can't do something because we can't see the way. But just because you can't see the way doesn't mean the way doesn't exist. And this is your reminder that there is a way. You just need to be ready to say, okay, I can do this. And the time is right. It's okay for me to do this. And as you begin to believe that and take steps in that belief, I think that's the proposition I want. Maybe take steps because of that belief. I don't know. Since you now have that belief and you start taking steps, the way will be able to make itself clear. It's similar to, but different from, similar to when you buy a white car, you start seeing white cars all over the place, right? It's about awareness, and it has to do with what's known as a reticular activating system in the brain. This is similar, but not exactly the same. Once you believe that you can do this, the time is right for you to do this, that you want to do it, because wanting is important. Just because I'm saying you should do it and your guides are clearly saying you should do it doesn't mean you have to. You can continue to be hard-headed, but we're talking about your money power today, which implies that you want more money, and this is how you get it. And listen, you don't have to quit the other job to do this, particularly when you're first starting. In fact, it is better, and I wish I had known this, for you to keep your job before you go, I'm going to go 100% into having my own business. No. It's better to keep that steady income to the extent that you can, or something else that will give you some money you can count on. Because in the beginning, most businesses don't make money right away. And I'm not just talking about massive money and profits. I'm talking about like money at all. You know, when I started the Etsy shop, there would be months where there were no sales, zero, this many. Okay? But let yourself, if you want it, if you want this, the guidance is here that you can have it and the time is right. And as you really let yourself believe that, you're going to start seeing more signs. They're going to come to you from your guides, more signs showing you the way. And as I said, now say it one more time, I will help you find that way if you choose to get an artistic career reading from me or my career and business reading. I have both. I don't just cater to artists. I have both. And I can help you find the way. And of course, like I said, the content that Alex Hormozy has on his YouTube channel also. That tends to be better for someone who's already got a business. You've already started. If right now you're just at how do I even start, I'm your girl. I'm your girl. Okay, so let's see if I can give you an affirmation to carry you through the next week. Actually, you know what? What I've been doing with these groups is I've been giving an affirmation that I come up with on the spot because it feels divinely guided based on the messages that we got. And yours just came really fast because it is an offshoot of Vanessa's card that says there's always a way. And the affirmation that I want you to use, even if right now it doesn't feel true, is I can see the way to having my own business. I can see the way to have my own business, or I can see the way to having my own business. Use whatever tense of that verb you want, the verb have. I can see the way to having my own business. I can see the way to having my own business. I can see the way I can have my own business. But it's very important for you to say can and see. Those are the two most important words in that affirmation for you. Okay? Because you need to allow yourself to see it. And some of you have actively, deliberately not allowed yourself to see it. I can see the way to having my own business. And because you're saying that, you're going to begin to, again, like I said a second ago, really see the signs that are coming through. It could be that signs have been coming through for you for a while, but you just haven't been tuned in, as Abraham Hicks likes to say, to the frequency where you can see them. right? Oh goodness, there was something else that I wanted to say to you about that. I can see the way. Oh, it's very similar to when you are trying to find something. Because you think of it as loss, you can't find it. Try this trick. I do this a lot now because I've seen it work when I wasn't trying. Like I just happened to do it and it works, and so now I do it on purpose. If there's something that's missing, instead of being like, "Where is my da 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 da," which makes it take longer for you to find it. Instead, say, "I know my da 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 is here somewhere." Let me give you a better word than da da da. Instead of, "Where's my rose quartz? I can't find my rose quartz. Where is it? Where's that crystal?" Now I know my rose quartz is in here. It has to be in here. And when I say that, I find things faster. So this is very, very similar, okay? By saying I can see is what's important. I can see the way to have my own business is going to help you be able to see the steps needed, the things to do, the business idea itself, the resources available or how you can make them available, the changes to make to your life so that you can start this business. I can see the way to having my own business. All right? Okay, this is what I have for you today, group 3. This is the longest of all the readings, but yes, this is your message. I'm very excited for you. I am going to be doing even more content for business owners and entrepreneurs here on this channel. It will continue to be tarot, of course, and it will also be even more of the meditations. Y'all know I do the meditations, right? I just recently put a 3-hour version of my abundance meditation on the channel for you. Check it out. Help a sister out. Share it with people. Let's grow this channel. Let's grow this community. Okay, it's not about me. It's totally about me. It's not always about me. It's about you too. Anyway, thank you all so much for being here. And I will see you in my next one. Bye.